Welcome, and thank you for joining me as we take a deep dive into leadership. As I talk to CEOs, the most common feedback I get is I'm just too busy. I just can't find the time. As a CEO, you're the most valuable resource your company has. Importantly, you're also the one resource, the one advantage the competition doesn't have. So how do you maximize that? How do you make yourself more effective and a better leader at the same time? Where do you find the time? And as we know, there's no free lunch. It was Peter Drucker who said, management is doing things right, but leadership is focused on doing the right things. Let's take a moment and look at how you're spending your time and look at potentially how you could be investing your time. And yes, I made a distinction there. Spending time to get things done, investing time to create value, to create a return. And I've got a list. Let's go over to the whiteboard here. And while we're doing that, I'm going to ask you to create a new mindset. You need to look at things differently. And if you had somebody else to bring in to review your schedule with you, this would be a great time to do it as we go through these tasks. Let's start with, look at your calendar. What and were you doing and how did you spend that time for the last 30 days? What's in your inbox? And how many of those things do you really need to be the person to handle? What's on your to-do list? And why are you the person that those are coming to? What conversations have you been involved in? What meetings have you been involved in? And what were the objectives? How many fires are you fighting? We all have some, no question about that. But at some point, there may be too many, or too many that you're involved with. It should be solved before they get to you. Social media, how big a distraction is that? And how much time are you spending there? When you look at all this in total, this is your legacy. Is that the legacy you want? For each of these items, you have to ask, do you have to be the one to do it? How important is it? Does it have to be done now? Perhaps you should consider an idea bank where you can park these ideas so you can come back to them later so they're not lost. Should you develop a not to-do list for those things that you don't want to do now and don't want to do in the future? How many of these tasks can be outsourced or delegated, potentially to an virtual assistant? And lastly, was it fun? And here's the exception. If it was fun, you might want to consider doing it because you deserve to have some fun today too. As you look at each of these, again, now that you've put all that together, go back and take a look at what percentage of your time you spend focused on achieving your number one goal. Because you're ready for this. What's more important than your number one goal? That's your job. As CEO, we said you're the most valuable resource for your company, both in terms of the cost, but also in terms of the opportunity cost, the things you could be doing. If we look back on last month, what if all that was done for you? Now what? How would you spend your time? More importantly, how could you spend your time? What type of return could you achieve? What type of future could you create for your company? Only you can decide the priority on those issues, on your time, and on the return you want to achieve for your company. I hope this helped you find some answers and, more importantly, some time to do just that. My name is Mike Tetreault. I'm an executive coach, and I'm a Vista Chair, where I lead a peer advisory group for CEOs. And now that you have some time, if you'd like to learn more about the benefits of a peer advisory group, please reach out. In the meantime, Thank you very much for listening. Bye for now.